How y'all doing? This is your favorite basketball coach on the Facts Over Feelings and Knowledge Over Narratives Network. Let's get to it. Now, there's been a lot of talk recently about who is in the MVP race. For most of the season, the consensus has been the top two being A'ja Wilson and Olivia Miles. Their team's overall performance speaks to it. Their stats speak to it. Their on-court production speaks to it. All these things speak to it. But of late, someone else has entered the discussion in a big way, and especially because they got the narrative pushers and the Glazer community pushing their candidacy sky high. And that would be Catilin Clark, or as we call her here, Bricklin Dark. And this, what you're seeing before you, is an equal weight statistical comparison across all categories for the 2026 season, outside of that stinker that Catilin Clark put up last night. This information was compiled before that. So these numbers that you see before you for her are more favorable than they actually factually are. But I didn't want to pull this presentation out and do it all over again just to update it, because I got a heart too. I'll try to put you in the best light possible, but I just gotta do what I gotta do. But yeah, she put up a stinker. We've already reported on that. You can go to the channel and see it. And please like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. If we get to, I believe it's 1,000 subscribers, then we can do shorts. So if you guys appreciate the kind of, statistical analysis that we put out here with no spin, no glaze, no nothing, no narrative creation. We destroy narratives here, not support them. So let's destroy this narrative that Catilin Clark deserves to be considered for the MVP. As we can see, we have a equal weight statistical comparison. What do we mean by equal weights? We looked at 9 categories: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, and turnovers. How the points were awarded. Higher is better every category except turnovers, where lower is better. We're not going to reward you for creating more turnovers. You shouldn't be rewarded for that. Reality works that way. Turnovers are bad, so we weigh them badly. So if you got a high turnover ratio or turnover total, then the person you're being compared to, it's going to sink you. And that's exactly what happened. And let's just be clear. Everybody and their little brother knows this is one of the main reasons why Catilin Clark just can't get over the hump. She throws the ball away too much. We all know she is garbage offense and turnovers. So quit trying to sell us that turnovers don't matter. They do. We deal in reality here. We don't deal in narrative creation. We're not trying to, spin this. No, we're just analyzing it. And we understand something else that is true. Regression to the mean is real. If Catilin goes for 1 turnover in a game, which she did recently, stands to reason she's going to throw the ball away at a high rate the next, which is exactly what happened. She went from a 1 turnover game to a 7 turnover game. And last night, she only had 3 turnovers. So now the pendulum's switching back. So, she's going to have a bounce back, and she'll probably have 6 the next game, and 5, and 8. You know how it works. But, and we took advantage of one of a statistical anomaly, which I like to refer to, and those who are researchers like myself like to refer to as recency bias. Recency bias, easily explained, is what happened most closer to the actual date that you're evaluating it starts to weigh on your opinion of it. If someone does what Angel Reese did last night, like go for a near triple double on 100% from the field shooting, the recency bias would say, well, she's the MVP. If you can do that, you're the MVP. But when you do what we do here, by looking at an equal weight statistical comparison across all categories, it kind of washes the recency out of it. Because we're going to look at how you've been all year long. If you played a minimum number of games, and here at the Narrative Over Networks and Facts Over Feelings channel, we look at, you got to play at least 10 games to be compared to everybody else. And these two young ladies have played over 30 games each, so we have a really great sampling to compare. So when we look at the last 5 games, Miles beats out Catilin Clark with a composite score of 5.5 categories to 3.5 categories. Catilin won in points over the last 5 games. She scored more points than Olivia. And now I say that, your mind really races. Well, that should be it. That should be it. But look at the totals for the season. Catilin is only scoring 22.1 points per game, while Olivia is scoring 19.9 points a game. That's a difference of 2.1. That's one bucket difference. So there isn't much difference in scoring. But Catilin Clark has been successful to, in 5-game increments, to consistently be have more points when you count them up over a 5-game window, every 5 games. And for the total season, she is consistently held on to that position. So shout out to you, CC. You're a better scorer statistically than Olivia, but not by much. Rebounds. Here, not just the last 5, not just the last 10, not just the last 15, not just the last 20, not just the last 30, but for the whole year, Olivia Miles has been a better rebounder than Catilin Clark. Game after game, night after night. She just out rebounds. Assists. Here again is Catilin's strength. Catilin leads the league in assists per game, but she's probably currently 3rd now. Well, she might be 2nd still in total assists. So shout out to you, CC, for that. And when you compare yourself to Olivia, you beat her in every time frame. Last 5, last 10, last 15, last 20, last 25 for the whole season. However, when you look at the averages, Catilin is averaging 8.3 assists, while Olivia is averaging 6.2. That's 2.1 assists difference, which is just 2 more made baskets by Olivia Miles' teammate per game, and they're equal, or 2 less in Catilin's perspective. But when you balance out, we didn't put it in as one of our categories here. We were trying to be as fair as we could in an equal weight. But if we had used assist to turnover ratio, basically combining assists and turnovers, then Olivia would win. Because her assist to turnover ratio has been better than Catilin Clark's all season long. By just counting assists in their own category and counting turnovers in their own category, it was a wash. Because Catilin won every last one of those assist categories, and Olivia won every last one of the turnover categories. She had fewer turnovers all year long. Blocks. In the last 5, they're absolutely tied for blocks. In the last 10, Olivia is ahead of her. Oh, we skipped steals, didn't we? Sorry. Last 5, Catilin has more steals than Olivia. The last 10, Catilin has more steals than Olivia. The last 15 games, Catilin has more steals than Olivia. But when we look at the season total, Olivia has more steals than Catilin. This is why I'm talking about recency bias. If we were to look at the comparison, why did Catilin Clark just all of a sudden get mentioned? All of a sudden get this surge? Here it is. She started digging in a little bit more on the defensive end and getting some steals. She never dropped off in her assists being better than Olivia's. She never dropped off in her points being better than Olivia. She didn't gain on Olivia in rebounding, blocks, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, turnovers, none of it. What she did do was surge ahead of Olivia's game by game output in steals over the same time period. That's the underlying cause, in my statistical analysis opinion, of why she got this surge. But if that's all you got, you ain't got nothing. Blocks, they're tied over the last 5. Olivia is ahead of Catilin over the last 10. They're tied again over the last 15. But once you go beyond the last 20, Olivia has more blocks. So again, Catilin is starting to dig in a little bit on the defensive end of the court, which has been a big knock on her all season. So, and her being tied here and tied there with Olivia can be part and parcel to her surge of late. If you want to explain why her surge has happened from a statistical analysis standpoint, if you just want to glaze it up, you can. You could have made, some people had Catilin Clark the MVP from the first game of the season, which is ridiculous. Field goal percentage. Miles has consistently, through the last 5, throughout the season, been a better shooter than CC. CC is Brooklyn Dark for a reason. 3-point percentage, again, Olivia, and she's getting up something like three and a half 3-point attempts per game. She just shoots them at a much higher rate than Brooklyn Dark does by a long shot. Free throw is, what I mean by a long shot is Olivia shooting almost 41% from 3, while Catilin is shooting 34%, almost 35% from 3. That's just a lot. When you consider volume, that becomes huge. Catilin be out there just breaking them up. Free throw percentage. Over the last 5, Olivia has been more clutch from the free throw line than Catilin. Over the last 10, Olivia has been more clutch from the free throw line. In the last 15, they were tied. So Catilin had a little bump up in clutchness from the free throw line. She wasn't breaking them up. But she's shooting a career low from the free throw line right now. She's shooting in the mid 80s, which is atrocious. She probably hasn't shot that bad from the free throw line since high school. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe she got a boyfriend. I don't know. Last 20 through the season is all Miles. And in turnovers, as we've already discussed, Catilin is garbage offensive turnovers. While Olivia, though her turnover ratio is high, historically, it's nothing like the all-time champ when it comes to throwing the ball away. That's Catilin Clark. So if Olivia was being compared against anybody else, it would probably not work out as a clean sweep. But Catilin is special when it comes to this one, and I said it earlier, this one debilitating category. This one takes points away so badly from you if you're just equal weighing it. It just has to. If you're fair. Well, we're fair here. So the overall window results out of 7. Olivia wins 6-1. 6-1. Olivia wins the equal weight statistical comparison across all categories, especially as the season sample grows. So the further you go down, the more dominant she becomes. So that shows something that Catilin has never ever exhibited in her entire career. Consistency. And that's what it takes to be the MVP. Sorry, CC, maybe next year. This is your favorite coach. Flex to you, Legend Miles. You know how we feel about you. You get a flex. And CC, you get a garbage offensive turnovers. Talk at y'all soon. Take care.